Hey guys, Milk here, and I'm going to be doing a tier list where I rank all of the mainline games except for Scarlet and Violet, which I'll probably add in um on their own, just because I feel like they deserve being here. But anyways, it's probably been done a bunch of different times, but I'm doing this because I saw Jakey XY do this, and I think he did it in response to another person who did it. But I saw his video first, and so that's why I'm crediting him, I guess. But I want to do this because I feel like I can make some people mad with my list. So we'll start with Generation 1, and we'll kind of just go down the generations, so 1 to 2, then 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. So starting off with Red and Blue, we're gonna put them in C because although they're the first games, they are super boring to play. Where is Blue? Blue, there he is. So they're gonna go C. But we're gonna change things up, and we're gonna give Yellow version the platinum treatment, and Yellow version will go B because I think much like how platinum is the way to play Gen 4, yellow is yellow version, my bad, is the way to play the original Generation 1 games. But now we have the OG Gen 1. We'll move on to the first remakes, Fire Red and Leaf Green. I hate them so much. They took two games that were already like slow and boring and made them even worse. I'm not a fan of Fire Red and Leaf Green. But then we get Pikachu and Eevee, Let's Go games, and I think they are good games. They changed the formula with them because they're not competitive. There's no IVs, stats, no Pokemon battle. It's not Pokemon like we know it, but they're arguably the most aesthetically pleasing and like pretty looking games that we got. So I put these in A tier, just because they look amazing. If you know me, you know I'm a big fan of Cubone. He's my favorite Pokemon ever. My intro to my videos is like Lavender Town, and if you've played the Let's Go games, when you're in Lavender Tower, there's a whole scene about Cubone and his mom, and when I was playing it, I broke down in tears. So, Let's Go games are, while not being a traditional Pokemon style, are still really good, and I really enjoy them. But we're gonna go on to Generation 2 now, and that's gonna be Gold, Silver, Crystal, and I'm gonna do Gold in C tier and Silver in B. Just because I don't like Ho. So he's gonna get slandered here. Lugia goes up there because I actually have Silver. I have 2 copies of it too, which is weird. And I have these on hand because I had to make the intro to this video, but I have 2 copies of Pokemon Silver. So, and I don't know why. They both work. But it's weird. Crystal, however, is gonna go S tier because Crystal was my first Pokemon game, and I am totally gonna be biased about it. Generation 2 again, we'll go to Generation 2.0. So Heart Gold, Soul Silver again. Gonna do Heart Gold in B because don't like Ho-Oh, but Soul Silver is gonna go S tier. A lot of people have problems with Generation 2 for having horrible XP curves. Yes, it's awful. But Generation 4 is worse, and I'm gonna get to that when I rank Gen 4. But before we do that, we gotta go Gen 3. So Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Emerald, A tier, because it's the definitive way to play Generation 3. You know, it's basically the yellow and the platinum of Gen 3. Sapphire will go B, Ruby will go C. I like Kyogre more, and when I was in middle school, the When I was in middle school on the school buses, there used to be like a teacher that would ride the school buses to make sure all of the kids were safe. And he would always bring Game Boys and DSs on the bus for the kids to play on the bus on the ride home. And I would always sit at the back of the bus with a Game Boy, and I would just play Sapphire the whole ride home. And if you were lucky, he would let the kids take the Game Boy home over the weekend, but they had to bring it back on Monday. And so I would take Sapphire home and I would just play Sapphire all weekend. It was a really fun middle school experience for me. Oraz, Alpha Sapphire S tier, Omega Ruby A tier. I played Omega Ruby first, and then I got a copy of Alpha Sapphire. They're the same thing with different legends, but again, I don't like Groudon, so it goes lower. We're gonna go to Gen 4 now. And this is where I will draw heat. Yeah. Oh. Right there. Pearl is higher because I think Palkia is just cooler than Dialga, you know? But Diamond Dialga for D, while it makes sense, is also true because Gen 4 is not fun. At least these ones are. As I was saying about how people don't like Generation 2 with XP curves, Generation 4 is horrendous. It's so bad. I would get to, in like half of my playthroughs, I would get to, what's the third gym leader? Maylene. I'd get to Maylene and my Pokemon would still only be like level 22. It's not a fun experience. Platinum kind of made it better. It has a better story overall, so I'll put Platinum in. For the sake of amending myself for putting Diamond in D, we'll put Platinum in A. Because I feel like that'll hopefully ease some of the hate. But yeah. We'll move on to this. Gen 5. Black version. You're gonna go D just because I got, what's the word? I got bamboozled. I got bamboozled as a kid. Also, we're gonna do it with White 2, also going in D tier. I'll explain why. White version will go B, Black 2 will go S. So how I got bamboozled by Pokemon White, or sorry, Pokemon Black. When I was a kid and Black and White first came out, I got Black version thinking I was going to get Zekrom as my legendary. And when I got point to the legendaries and it gave me Reshiram, I was upset. So when Black and White 2 came out, I went into the same mentality. I'm okay. I get White 2, I'm going to get Zekrom. If I get Black, I'm getting Reshiram. Because in Black version, they gave you Reshiram, and White version, they gave you Zekrom. So I got White 2 thinking I was going to get Zekrom again. But they changed it. And so White 2, you got Reshiram, and then Black 2, you got Zekrom. So I got bamboozled hard thanks to Generation 5. I still love them. Generation 5 is my second favorite generation behind Johto. So but we'll move on to Generation 6, right? Yes, because we just did 5. That's gonna be X and Y. Good games. I played Y, I'll put it in A, and I'll give X to it as well. It's different because I normally separate them based on how I like the legendaries, but I think Yveltal and Xerneas, or Yveltal, I don't know how you pronounce it. I watch too many Pokemon videos on YouTube. So we'll just say Yveltal and Xerneas. I like both of them. They're both really solid Pokemon. So those will get ranked together in A. Then we'll go on to Gen 6. No, that was 6. Gen 7, Sun and Moon. C, they're not Pokemon. I know there's a lot of heat, and I know there's a lot of love in the community for Sun and Moon, but they weren't Pokemon to me. They didn't feel like it. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee felt more like Pokemon than Sun and Moon did. So I put those there because they had the Pokemon, they had the battles, they had the trainer battles, wild battles, everything. but there's no gyms, and it's not the biggest difference. Actually, it is. It's a really big difference because everything else has been gyms. Gen 2, gyms. Gen 1, gyms. Even all of the remakes. All of the other remakes had gyms. The island trials are fine. I don't know. Sun and Moon didn't feel like Pokemon to me. Moving my hand way too much. But yeah. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, however, kind of different. While still not feeling like Pokemon because no gym battles, the story is better, and the post game is magnifique. Post game Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon is some of the best stuff I've ever played. So Ultra Sun will go there, and Ultra Moon will go there, just because I didn't play Ultra Moon. But I can only assume it's the same thing, just with Dawn Wings instead of Duskmane. I think that's what they're called. I have no clue. Generation 8, Sword and Shield. I'm a Shield guy because I think Zamazenta is cooler than Zacian, because this is literally just Sif. So we'll rank these. While I love them, they did have issues. Shield will go A, and we'll put Sword at B. Kind of on all over the place list. I'm gonna get hate for Diamond being in D. Probably having Ruby at C. But that's it. And as for Scarlet and Violet, we'll probably put Scarlet at B. We'll put them both at B because they started really rocky, but I think they work now. I have a lot of fun playing Scarlet, so we'll put Scarlet and Violet B. I guess we'll do BDSP as well since we did the other remakes. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are gonna go D. You know why they're gonna be in D tier, but all right. That's gonna be my tier list for the main games. Again, thank you to Jakey XY for the idea. As I said, I'm sure other people have probably done this, but his video is the one that I saw first, and so that's what I'm gonna credit. If you liked my list, sweet, we think alike. If you didn't, it's a difference in opinion. Don't slaughter me in the comments, please. My mental can't handle it. But as always, my name is Milk, and I'm gonna end this episode with a see you later.